Ohtani, a two-time MVP with the Angels, is making his first pitching appearance since August 23rd, 2023. Ohtani was prevented from pitching while recovering from major shoulder surgery in the fall of 2023. The Dodgers beat San Francisco Sunday 5-4. Ohtani was 3 for 3 at the plate and scored 2 runs. The Angels were swept in their 3-game series at Baltimore. They lost 11-2 on Sunday. The Angels start a 4-game series tonight in New York against the Yankees. The NBA Finals resume tonight with Game 5 in Oklahoma City. OKC and the Indiana Pacers are tied at 2-2 in the best of 7. TV ratings for the NBA Finals are down 20% from last year after 4 games. Tip-off time tonight is 5:30 on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews.
Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe.
Over the years, Lanell has catered most major Black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lanell Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins, collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lanell's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So head on over to Lanell Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lanell you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
I know we can do it. Somebody ask me, why do we have to go through it? It's just the test of our faith. But we're living day to day. We don't know where, we don't know when. But it's coming back again. Oh, yes, it is. It's ready to me. Oh, God, it's time for you to return. I know. Time to make a change.
Yes, it is that time again. Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner. We counted all joy per usual for all of us to be together on this day. So much happening in the world. Doc, I want to start off by wishing all the fathers a very happy Father's Day, belated Father's Day. I hope folks who are either biological fathers carry the father-like spirit, however you fit in that spectrum of fatherhood. I really do hope that everybody enjoyed their Father's Day. Doc, how was your Father's Day?
Well, I miss Dad, but I salute your magnificent father. Indeed, I love that brother. And of course, my blood brother's best father I know, his precious ones. And I was blessed to spend some good time with my beloved daughter, and of course, talk to my son and stepdaughter. So I'm in good shape. I'm in good shape. How was yours?
Yeah, it was good. Dad in good condition. I'm gonna let him know you said hello, and my son is a father, so I got a chance to pour love into a lot of fathers out there. Yeah, you deserve it.
Lord.
Yeah. So what, Doc, what we got? I mean, the war is going on. Israel attacks Iran, trying to pull the United States into a war. This president certainly has a decision to make. He ran basically on, I'm not Biden. I won't start wars. I'll get us out of war kind of thing. So we'll see if that holds. The No Kings protest, about 5 million people participated all across the country. And then, as we know, our hearts go out to the lawmakers and their family, the family and friends of the lawmakers. A couple was shot. The Speaker of the House and her husband were shot and killed. And then there was another senator in Minnesota, where we know Brother Keith Ellison is a dear, dear friend of ours, was shot and not killed. I mean, they're recovering right now. Just absolutely tragic what happened to them. And I read that even Attorney General Keith Ellison's name was on that list. I mean, thank God they caught this guy. And then also Congressman Dean Phillips, as you know, who ran, the only actively elected member of Congress who had the guts to run in 2020. And that's not even, you and Marianne and RFK Jr., all that, y'all in the class by yourself. But Congressman Dean Phillips' name was on that list too, among others. So, Doc, what is on your heart, your soul, and your mind on this day?
Well, there's no doubt that we live in a bleak moment and a bleak time. But I think back to 49 years ago, June 16th, 1976, when South African white police killed 700 precious South African black children with the Soweto uprising.
Yeah.
3 years old. And President John Voister, who himself actually sided with the Nazis in World War II, he and Henry Kissinger representing the American government at that time as Secretary of State, they met 3 days later and didn't even mention the killings. Just let the world know these precious black lives don't matter. They don't really count. John Forster, very much tied to a so-called South Africa First project. Now, he was explicit about, he called himself a nationalist. He called himself a fascist. He acknowledged that he, for the Nazis against the USA and British, even though the United States viewed him as an ally once he was president of South Africa. But it's very important in mind, that this bleakness that we've been talking about and the struggle that we've been trying to sustain goes back a long, long way. And you could imagine they now little Hector Peterson, a magnificent Hector Peterson museum and arena there in Soweto. He was 12 years shot down. And the famous picture that was taken of his body, blessed sister Antoinette, right next to him. It was taken by a famous photographer, Sam Nzima. He's one of the great photographers, the freedom struggle in South Africa. That you connect what was on then with the Christian nationalism, with the fascism, with the deep supremacy, with the Black Lives Not Mattering, to what's going on now. Yeah, I just noticed even the war, that just like Palestinians don't count, don't matter. When you look at too much of the mainstream media, more and more now, the Iranian lives don't matter. All over 200 now. And each life is crucial. 24 precious Israelis have been killed too. It's crucial. We got to keep a moral and spiritual substance thing. But it's the believable white supremacist lens through which so much of this is viewed that needs to be radically called, and got to unequivocally raise voices. Mandela was in jail in 76. Who would have thought that 15 years later he would be in the process of emerging? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what we have to forever be mindful of, cognizant of, that this too shall pass.
Amen. For some of us, not quick enough. You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner. When we continue, or when we come forward, we'll continue our discussion.
Speaking truth to power and to the powerless. This is Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
There we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on! On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice Plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DePrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
Love you. Love you.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V22 pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
To thine own self be true. More of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner coming your way right now on KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh yeah, coming your way. We are here. Doctor, you were talking about the Soweto uprising was it on this day, May 16th?
June.
Oh, June 16th. I done went backwards. You know, you made me think about something that was in my timeline today. For Equal Justice Initiative, and I definitely encourage people, if they are on social media, follow them or go to their website. But they always do this kind of this day in history. And so on this day, June 16th, 1944, George Steiny Jr., a 90-pound, 14-year-old boy, was executed in the electric chair in Columbia, South Carolina. He remains the youngest person executed in United States history. And, 14-year-old boy was executed. If you see his picture, I mean, he ain't no bigger than my pinky, executed in Columbia, South Carolina, excuse me. And you and I, Doc, went through South Carolina, went through Columbia many a day on the campaign trail. It was 3 months earlier, on March 24th, George and his sister were playing in their yard when 2 young white girls briefly approached and asked where they could find flowers. Hours later, the girls failed to return home, and a search party was organized to find them. George, at 14, he joined the search party and casually mentioned to a bystander that he had seen the girls earlier, being a little innocent teenager. It's like, oh, yeah, I saw them. The following morning, their dead bodies were found in a shallow ditch. George was immediately arrested for their murder and subjected to hours and hours and hours of interrogation. And he was executed on this day in 1944.
1944.
just a little baby. And no African Americans were allowed in the courtroom. So, the whole notion of number one, due process under law, having a jury of your peers, none of that happened for this little boy.
Mm-hmm. Lord, 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 Lord.
And it just reminds us that, the more things change, the more they stay the same. An all-white jury deliberated for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Before convicting George Steiny of murder. And the judge promptly sentenced the 14-year-old to death. Despite appeals from Black advocacy groups, Governor Olin Johnston refused to intervene. George Steiny remains the youngest person executed in the U.S. in the 20th century. So again, please go to the Racial Justice Initiative. Go to either their website or go if you're on social media, and that's Equal Justice Initiative. Doc, they do really great historic work. So just marrying that to the Soweto uprising and you're coming in, reminding us that, Black lives really don't matter much. That's for sure.
There's no doubt that the powers that be been killing black folk unfairly, unjustly, for hundreds and hundreds of years. There's no doubt about not just in Georgia, Jim Crow Georgia, but in South Africa.
That's right.
6 million in the Congo before 6 million Jews that were murdered in Nazi Germany, each life. But it's just hard to on the value and the significance of black life. That the white supremacist lens are so thick that it's easy to just cast it aside, act as part of the norm of things. And Palestinians the same way. Iranians more and more now we're gonna see it's the same way. It's the same way. It really is.
It's a formula. It's formulaic. This kind of aggression and disregard for certain lives. There's a formula, and usually that formula, especially in America or United States of America, because there's South America too, but here in North America is really much predicated on Black lives.
That's very real.
Yeah.
And that's why it's easier to brown, Mexican, Spanish speaking immigrants, or of course indigenous peoples. Lord have mercy. Nobody really wants to come to terms with, and all of the implications and repercussions of that kind of vicious treatment. Even when I hear my Mexican brothers and sisters say, California, yes, used to be Mexico. Absolutely right. But we got to tell them, but the indigenous people were here before the Mexicans.
Yeah, definitely. True that, Doc. Well, let's, Israel attacked Iran. It was a preemptive attack. President Trump said that he didn't know anything about that attack at first, but definitely now is back in the play of Israel. It remains to be seen whether he's going to send troops. We know that even some on his side are saying don't do it. You got Tucker Carlson just going as far as saying if you do it, it's going to be the end of your presidency. And Tucker and you and me, we usually don't see eye to eye on much. But even Tucker Carlson is saying to President Trump, don't do it. And it's just curious to me, Doc, where are all those American First Republicans? Well, where they at?
Where they at? Lord, Lord, Lord. But just let you know that there's so few people of real principle. People are willing to cave into anything as long as they think both their interests and their status will be preserved. So if we're looking for more consistency from any of the folk that's following Trump, it's hard to find. And I didn't know that Brother Tucker was talking that way, because he's been one first to downplay Black Lives Matter. When Floyd was publicly, he started talking about Floyd may have been personally responsible because he was a drug addict. So come on, Tucker, quit lying, man.
Yeah.
He can be right. He can be right. We give him his freedom to speak his mind. I didn't know he had said that about Trump, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And as Grandma used to say, a broke clock can be right twice a day. And this is Tucker's time to be right on this. I think we probably will find a lot of true American first people will think this is out of source and certainly against what one of the pillars that Trump ran on, because he was able, because of what was happening in between Israel at first, that horrible October 7th, and then this escalating to where we are today, which is really not a war because the other side does not have equal firepower, but the war on Gaza, happening, and Trump being able to play. He played on that, Doc, as we all old enough to remember, saying if he were president, this wouldn't be happening. He's gonna pull our, he's not gonna be engaged in forever wars. And here he is, not really admonishing Israel for what they did to Iran, and basically, for every action, there's gonna be opposite and equal reaction. So what did we think? What did anybody think? You had to know that Iran was going to, we call it retaliation, but they were gonna fight back.
Oh, sure. No, the thing is, we hear over and over again ad nauseum about Israel's right to defend itself, and that's true. Every nation has a right to defend itself, but not just Israel. You see, every nation got a right.
Right.
If Israel gonna violate other nations' sovereignty and bomb those nations and zero in on their leaders and their scientists. And I'm thinking about Syria, Iran, Lebanon. We can go on and on here, you see, let alone genocide, which means you have absolutely no moral authority. If you're responsible for genocide, then you just have no moral authority. It's just a fact. But the fact that this right to defend itself, can rationalize almost anything. And of course, part of the hypocrisy is just partly about whether Iran has a nuclear bomb or not. And if you ask Netanyahu, does Israel have a nuclear bomb? He will not answer. If you ask Trump, does Israel have a nuclear bomb? He will not. The policy is to never, ever acknowledge Israel has nuclear bombs. The so-called principle of opacity they have, so that they make an agreement. We never, ever say whether we have it. So when Iran called for a free nuclear zone years ago, Israel couldn't go along with it because it would have had to admit that it had a nuclear bomb.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being like my common sense is kicking in. You got world leaders who peddle in war and decay and chaos. And I'm just thinking to myself, at some point, when is enough enough? I mean, United States is the only nation that ever dropped an atomic bomb on any nation. Is that Hiroshima, Nagasaki? The only one so far to drop an atomic bomb. And as our dear brother Ben Cohen, who just started Up in Arms, he has this great video where he used pellets to illustrate how much firepower we as the United States has. And so as Americans, we got to ask ourselves, how much more do we need? Number one, we have more than the next 10 nations combined. And that's China, that's Russia. It's like all the boogeymen and women. We got more. And so why do we get to determine, or Israel or any other nation? I mean, I would want that humankind didn't need these kinds of tools of destruction. I mean, that's what I would ultimately want. However, I know that's not the reality. But Doc, who gets to determine who gets to have nuclear weapons and who doesn't?
And by what moral authority?
That part.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a very important question. But of course, nowadays, especially in the age of gangster Trump, it's just all raw power and brute might. That's the gangster sensibility. All I need power and might, I'll say anything, whether it's a lie or not, I'll do anything for accountability whatsoever, even if it leads to the self-destruction of the species, I will still do it. And at that point, we ourselves look at ourselves and say, Are we relatively powerless to stop this gangsterization of the country and the world? We can't stop genocide in Gaza. We can't stop the war taking place in the middle. We can't stop. I mean, what? Now, on the other hand, I could be wrong. Maybe we can stop it. Oh, maybe the solidarity that we're pushing for just needs to be deeper. Maybe our courage just needs to be more upfront. Our sense of this wretched of the earth needs to be more intense. That's the challenge there. That's the challenge. And of course, then you take it to a larger theological level and say, no matter how powerful Trump and Netanyahu think they are, they're not all powerful like a God that we serve. No matter how crucial they think they can crush God's children in the name of nationalism or whatever they want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. That's still penultimate, not ultimate.
That part, Doc. Yeah, maybe we can stop it. I'm gonna lean on maybe we can. All that collective energy to push for a more civilized society. Now, the Associated Press is reporting that President Trump nixed an Israel plan to kill Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. I'm probably pronouncing that last name wrong, but the current Ayatollah who serves as a religious authority and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So who knows? It just really sickens me that a few men and women can decide how much war we have and whether or not World War III could happen while these people clamoring for money. All of us could get caught up as collateral damage to all their foolishness. We can't war our way to peace. When we continue, we're going to let that marinate a little bit. We cannot war our way to peace. You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
The truth will set you free, but first it might raise your blood pressure.
I'm not driving you, man.
More of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. President Trump is pushing for more ICE raids in Democratic-led cities like New York and Los Angeles. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams says the city will only cooperate on criminal cases.
We are not going to collaborate with civil enforcement, and we're going to encourage people to not live in fear and go on with their lives.
Trump says he'll use every resource possible for mass deportations. A black juror has been dismissed from Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial after giving conflicting info about his residency. He's been replaced by a white alternate despite defense objections over diversity. Meanwhile, another juror may have leaked information. And people nationwide are celebrating Juneteenth this week. The holiday, observed on June 19th, marks the day in 1865 when enslaved African Americans in Texas finally learned they were free 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. Fans going to Dodger Stadium tonight to see the Dodgers in San Diego will see something they have not seen in almost 2 years. Shohei Ohtani will be the Dodgers starting pitcher. Ohtani, a two-time MVP with the Angels, is making his first pitching appearance since August 23rd, 2023. Ohtani was prevented from pitching while recovering from major shoulder surgery in the fall of 2023. The Dodgers beat San Francisco Sunday 5-4. Ohtani was 3 for 3 at the plate and scored 2 runs. The Angels were swept in their 3-game series at Baltimore. They lost 11-2 on Sunday. The Angels start a 4-game series tonight in New York against the Yankees. The NBA Finals resume tonight with Game 5 in Oklahoma City. OKC and the Indiana Pacers are tied at 2-2 in the best of 7. TV ratings for the NBA Finals are down 20% from last year after 4 games. Tip-off time tonight is 5:30 on ABC. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The revolution will not be televised.
What's up? It is Killer Mike, also known as Michael Render, and I'm encouraging you to listen to more, not less, of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Senator Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is where love and truth meet.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
I'm back. Yeah, we appreciate that, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We're going straight to the tube live chat. We have Blessed Peacemaker. Hope you had a fantastic Father's Day, Dr. West and Senator Turner. K. Miles, happy belated Father's Day, Dr. Cornel West. Greetings and salutations to both of you and your co-host, Senator Turner. Greetings and salutations. Doc, I don't know, a lot of people in here wishing you a happy belated Father's Day.
That's beautiful. No, indeed. I just miss Dad, you know. I tell you, I can't talk to him the way I used to. Every day we used to have our little dialogue. We got to keep forward, though.
Yeah, we do.
Lost his beloved father just last year. Same thing. You just got to keep that memory going and keep moving forward.
It's very hard. We miss our loved ones on this plane of existence. I mean, we know they live through us, and those of us who are spiritual and or religious, believe in a afterlife, and their essence is still very much with us. But that physical presence, man, you miss it.
Oh, you really do. You really, really do.
And you're making me think, Doctor, all of those who have lost their fathers, our condolences. Mother's Day and Father's Day could be incredibly stimulating and make you happy. It also can be sad.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Or a little both at the same time, Oh,
yeah, it's both. You're grateful, you're full, you count your blessings, but at the same time, you're human. And so your heartache and your heartbreak is still there. And the blessing doesn't eliminate the heartache, though,
Blessings do not eliminate the heartache. Amen. That's a word. Y'all better go and put that on a t-shirt. Dr. West is rhyming and rapping this afternoon. We got Morris Phillips in the house. Good afternoon, Dr. West and Senator Turner. Thank you for your courage. And thank you, Brother Morris, for noticing that. In all things, get an understanding, including of Western Christianity. Yeah, that's a good point, Doc. A lot of these people who are pushing or cheering on this war, many of them, not all of them, would consider themselves Christians.
Oh, it's like John Forster. When he sided with the Nazis, he said, I am a Christian nationalist. I'm an architect of apartheid, that I will subordinate, dominate, and degrade these black people supposedly in the name of Jesus. What kind of Jesus is he talking about?
I don't know where they find that one from.
Like the Klan, what kind of cross are they talking about?
Yeah, why would you burn the cross? I have no idea. I mean, the Jesus you and I know, it ain't the same one they know.
Exactly. No, but in Jesus' own day, the folk who supposedly was so committed to justice end up putting him on the cross.
Yeah, they did. I think you told the story a couple of weeks when he was healing somebody on the Sabbath and they was clutching pearls.
Right.
What? Oh Lord, have mercy. Human nature. We got Blessed Peacemaker in the house again. Congo under Leopold II lost an estimated 10 million people.
Who was it? 10? Yeah, I know Du Bois said it was about 7 or so, but
yeah,
I know historians may have done subsequent research now up to 10. It's not a lot of people talk about genocide, talking about massive killings.
Yeah. And we'll never know some of these true numbers. I mean, they're all estimates.
That's right.
Probably much more, always much more than what the number that we know. And no, they don't. And the scramble for the continent of Africa, the scramble for it among European nations is just something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Still impacts that continent to this day, and certainly impacts all of us in the Black diaspora. We got Brother Morris Phillips in the house again. When Kamala left, let's make a deal, Harris. Brother Morris, you know you wrong. I'm just reading it as it comes out. He said, when Kamala let's make a deal, Harris was asked if America was a racist country. She said it wasn't. Really, Miss Harris? Doc, I remember that like it was yesterday. Mm. And Brother Morris, you know you ain't right. I just got to chuckle. Can I chuckle for me?
You know, she didn't learn that at Howard University.
No, she didn't learn that at Howard University.
Her brilliant father, Donald, and her wonderful mother, she just saying what she's saying because the boss said it wasn't a racist society. She's on the plantation. They asked brother down in South Carolina, what's the congressman's name? Jim.
The senator down there. I'm blanking on his name too. It'll come to me. But yeah, they asked him the question first. And then she commented, then they asked her, well, he said it. You know, what are your thoughts about it? And she went on right with him.
Just going right when she knows she lying. She knows she lying.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And yeah, Doc, you just reminded us she did go to a HBCU and still answered that question that way. Brother Morris, you know he ain't right though. I'm sorry. Oh, Brother Morris. Woo! We got Kirk DeGrand. What a nice last name. Good afternoon, everyone, with a heart. Brother Morris still at it. The Israel PM has left Israel. Iran has warned Israelis to leave Israel. The PM took that advice to heart, don't you think? I'm not sure. I didn't know that the Israel. I didn't know that the Israeli prime minister that he left, Netanyahu left. I wasn't aware of that.
I had heard that he took a flight to Greece. I don't stay, and I hate to mention, I don't know how long he stayed actually, but note that none of these gangs, no matter who they are, and these are just rulers across the country. They could be in Israel, Iran, they could be in the United States, they could be part of the G7 right in Canada. That none of these folk are part of leading the way Genghis Khan and Napoleon. In the past, when they declared war, the leaders would be part of the army and go with the army to fight. Now they declare war. Trump down in Florida sipping tea and with his social media, he ain't ready to sacrifice nothing when it comes to war. Now, granted, of course, they live under death threats and they got tight security, so they could themselves be attacked at any time, but they're not part of the army itself. And most of them haven't ever served in the army.
But they will send other people's babies, other people's children to war. And it's mostly working class, a disproportionate color. And a lot of poor people who find their way mainly signing up for the military, so either they can go to college or they can get benefits. So it's easy to just cavalierly say, oh, I'm going to just send other people's family members.
Exactly.
For war.
Exactly. Albert Einstein used to argue, he said that he's a militant pacifist like Martin King, but he would argue that we won't have an end to war until the armies refuse to fight the wars, no matter what orders they receive from their commanders who are somewhere off sipping tea somewhere.
Amen to that. And it was Asa Philip Randolph who said something like, if you make wars unprofitable, you make them impossible. Like it ain't nobody getting paid. It ain't going down.
That's a deep point though.
Yeah. We hitting all of the veins right there. Both of those things go together, the profit. And then if people would just refuse to fight these wars, blessed peacemaker. Amen, Dr. West. We can stop it via deep solidarity. Earlier on, Doc, you said, what's the deal? Can we stop these things? And so blessed peacemaker is saying, amen, Dr. West, we can stop it via deep solidarity and kinship. God's image cannot be snuffed out when we are celebrating its beauty in our brothers and sisters everywhere.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's deep. I believe that, blessed peacemaker. We got to keep fighting to get there.
Absolutely.
Then there's conversation going on between Morris Phillips and blessed peacemaker. So brother Phillips asked what's happening in the motherlands, and blessed peacemaker lets brother Morris knows, God bless you, brother. East Africa isn't going well. Uganda especially is getting bad, but the family is doing great. God is good. So, we got these kind of upheavals and we wrestle with man's inhumanity or humankind's inhumanity to humankind's inhumanity to other humankind. And it's just a human condition that we got to push back on forever and ever and ever and ever. You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner. As you can see, we're wrestling with some stuff, reading our comments from, as my grandson says, the tube. When we come forward, we'll read a few more and hit some other topics.
It's Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least likely to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, my privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
May 6th was World Asthma Day, and it's a critical time to raise awareness about your asthma. Did you know that Black Americans are approximately 5 times more likely than white Americans to visit the emergency department due to their asthma? Managing your asthma is possible with regular checkups, avoiding known triggers, using prescribed medications correctly, and creating an asthma action plan with your healthcare professional. An action plan is a personalized plan you create with your doctor that shows you what to do and what medications to take to help control your asthma when you're having a hard time breathing or having an asthma attack. Stay aware. Have a plan because your health matters. For more tips and resources on managing your asthma, visit luma-edu.com. luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Truth crushed to earth shall rise again. You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, you are, and we are so glad that you are. I want to thank Brother Morris Phillips. It was Tim Scott, Dr. West. I knew it was Tim, but I had to. I don't know why I forget that, brother, but this federal senator from South Carolina, he was the one asked about racism or anti-blackness in the United States of America. Now, son of the South, telling that lie. A black man, son of the South, telling that big lie. But that's who it was, Doc. Senator Scott.
I was thinking of the congressman. What's his name? Third in charge of Democratic Party.
Oh, Clyburn. You were thinking Clyburn?
About it. He said, well, it's not a racist society, but we still have racist patches in the society.
Oh, they asked him that question too?
Asked him that too. I said, oh, he's still on the plantation on the other side, on the Democratic Party side. So,
that makes it worse because he's older than Senator Tim.
Come out of Jim Crow.
Yeah, he definitely knows, and his parents lived it.
Absolutely. You see, but he's in power now. He got racist patches, but it's not a racist society. Please.
They both did. One is a Democrat, one is a Republican. Senator Scott is the Republican. And he was but it's really so. Thank you for schooling us on that, Doc. So both of them saying it. So for those who always want to, not the Democrats, Dr. West just gave you one who said the same thing that Senator Tim Scott said. He was asked that, and then the former Vice President Harris responded to him. They all was wrong, all three of them.
Absolutely,
just lie. I mean, that. Sometimes you just got to call things what they are. They lied.
And you saw Sister Kamala went to that big wedding up at the Hamptons, though, huh?
Yeah.
And the Indian sister. It's good to see a Muslim and a Jewish couple coming together like that. It shows that love is deeper, cuts across religion, but at the same time, it's a Democratic Party affair with all the billionaires dead, flying across the country. But the LA is about to collapse. It's hard to come out and speak on behalf of the immigrants, but one can fly all the way to the wedding to be part of the in crowd. You say, oh, okay, that's your choice. But just know your choice has consequences.
That's right. Yes, sir. It's the same trough. I mean, let's not be fooled or deluded, disillusioned. I mean, let's understand who we're dealing with. Now, there's a point. So thanks again, Brother Morris Phillips. I didn't have to look it up. You found it for us. We appreciate you. Another point that he makes, that him and Blessed Peacemaker, boy, they going at it. They dominating the thread today. Dr. West, it originates from the doctrine of Christian discovery, 1453, a Catholic papal bull. That, he raises a good point. When we were talking about the scramble for Africa, that a pope divided the continent up between European nations and told Spain, you take this part, Portugal, you take this part. I mean, just the nerve. France, you take this part. So when you look at the continent, you can look at which European nation colonized which portions of Africa, and you can see language and cultural dynamics that permeate all those different countries within Africa. And I believe, Doc, it was Ethiopia that was never taken.
That's right. Well, Eritrea was by the Italians, but that's only a small part of it. But Ethiopia as a country was never colonized any European nation. Very, very real.
Yeah, and all it took. All it took. Can y'all imagine all it took to stay that strong? But that's just how much white supremacy, the white supremacy sickness permeates people's minds and leadership, because just the total arrogance to think that you can go to somebody else's land, the whole continent. Now we ain't just even talking about one little country or two, that you can just go on and step on the continent that has everything known to man and everything that one would need to live, survive, and thrive, and just say, we'll just carve her up. That's exactly what they did. You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner. We're wrestling with a lot today. When we come forward, we'll continue this wrestling.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is where love and truth meet.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You're listening to Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Nina Turner.
It is so beautiful. Doc, some new people have entered. I mean, this is a very fascinating. People are really feeling this thing. I think we got Aaron Burrito Analysis, who says, was Black inferiority not white supremacy, as Arabs, North Africans helped with slavery and during colonialism has participated privileges like Turkey? I mean, certainly we know to the north, and we talk a lot about West because that's where most of our ancestors hail from, the western part of Africa and that triangle trade, the Atlantic Ocean. But definitely there was a capture on the north side, and yes, some Arab countries did participate. The major carve out of Africa, though, happened by Europeans, but that does not abdicate any other nation from its responsibility to reckon with the damage it did as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Arabs played a very, very strong role in their own forms of slavery even before the Europeans got there.
Mm-hmm.
And the Africans themselves who were cooperated and collaborated with both the Arabs and the Europeans. So it is a human thing, but still centered on that profitability that Randolph talked about and the white supremacy. It was still a degradation of black people tied to making money.
That's right. Generationally, too. I mean, human beings have enslaved human beings. It doesn't make it right. But there's nothing that's been more treacherous than the type of slavery that has happened under capitalism. Go study it. You will find that to be true. And in other in other societies where people were enslaved, it wasn't forever, and their children. It wasn't, I mean, we would still be enslaved today. But for the abolitionist movement and the courage of Black people and some allies to say we're not going to take it anymore, it was forever born into, so much so the one drop rule was made because when miscegenation was happening, or let me break it down, race mixing was happening, which was illegal in the United States of America. Slaveholders wanted to make sure that they maintained the enslavement. And so they thought that up, Doc, because they knew they were doing wrong, raping Black women. And so usually a child takes on the condition of his father, the last name and all this patriarchal society, but not in the case if the woman was enslaved. That child could very much, most of the time, took on the condition of the mother. They created that so that they can keep their own children, their own offspring enslaved. One drop of Black blood makes you Black. I mean, this is just sick. Some sick stuff.
It's pathology. Let's just
Yeah.
call it.
Definitely pathology. And then Doc Blessed Peacemaker recommends, he said, Mark Charles does a great TED Talk on the doctrine of discovery. And his book is good too. Again, that's Mark Charles, TED Talk, the doctrine of discovery. So if anybody wants to learn more about that, do so. Our chat is just all the way live today. We appreciate you. So many new people have jumped in, but wow, our time for today is just gone. Dr. West and I, we love you. We adore you so much. Thank you for taking the time. We want you to live your purpose, live on purpose, and remember, above all things, titles are good, but purpose is better. Until next time.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.